to come on for just a few minutes and say hi, and check in. So I'm gonna make some coffee and wait. Hopefully some people will come join the live. I've already had 1 cup of coffee this morning and it was kind of strong. A strong cup of coffee. So, but I'd like to have another one. It's a Saturday. I want to get a lot of stuff done. Probably door dashing. It's usually a good day for door dashing, and it's easier for me to door dash in the day. Still folding up my blankets from the night. I think it was around 50 when I woke up. So that was nice. Hey, good morning. Hi, Nyla. How are you? Good morning to you as well. I'm trying to figure out which glasses to wear to read the comments the best. These have been so good. Hi, Wayne. Good morning. Yes, happy holidays. Absolutely. Yes, happy holidays. Hey, Dar. Good to see you. I'm trying to figure out which glasses work the best. These are indispensable for driving. They help me see at night, which before it was really hard to drive at night because the lights like do weird things. And yeah, these have helped with that and their distance vision. But I'm trying to figure out for the comments for the live which glasses will work. So last time I used these and they worked okay, but I did a lot of this leaning. Oh no, guys, look. Maybe I'll be wearing, good morning, Marianne. Maybe I'll be wearing the lens, hopefully. Oh yeah, I got the lens. The lens is in here. I'm not giving up on these glasses. That's funny. I could tell the lens was beginning to pop out. Right? Let's put that back in there. I had these in the inner console, and so I guess I smashed them a little too much. Too much stuff in the inner console, but I've got it popped back in there, and I'm gonna actually put these ones for the comments for reading. See, I don't know. I might switch back and forth. That's kind of funny. How's everybody doing today? But now there's a glare. 3 p.m. Okay. Nice. Awesome. So you're in the UK, Wayne? And I'm glad to hear you love watching the videos. That's great. See, there's a glare. You guys can't see my eyes now with these. Is there a glare on these too? These are a little higher quality. These are my actual prescription. Yeah, I tried to go live. I am live. I wanted to go live in the morning just to switch up the time a little bit. And I thought maybe there could be, you know, people that might not usually make the evening ones that would be able to make this live. But also it's a Saturday. I understand it's a Saturday and there's probably people running around doing errands. So yeah, but I'm excited to just hang out with you guys for a little bit and check in. Anybody got anything exciting today planned? Oh, also, could you hit the like button when you come in? I see 2 people liked it. Thank you for that. It's really warm in here. I haven't experienced this in a long time because I was further north, and it's warm where I am right now. It's like delightful because I feel like I had to thaw out, but it's beginning to happen, and it feels good. Oh, thanks for hitting that live button. I see it. It went up. I appreciate that. So, did you guys watch the new video? I am going to make a little bit of coffee, and I have my new coffee press here, which has been great. I'm in Georgia still. I'm still in Savannah. It's a good time for you, Marianne? Great. Excellent. Yeah, I'm in Savannah, and I actually really love it here. Everybody's so friendly. That's what I'm really noticing. Like, the people in Georgia have been very friendly, and I like that. The weather's been pretty nice. It was a little colder than I expected, but it's warming up. Today's supposed to be like high 60s and sunny, which that's amazing. I'm excited for that. And the nights are cool. I didn't have to use my sleeping bag or get under my down blanket. Um, do they have, I haven't checked out peaches yet, but I'd like to. I definitely want to check out some peaches. I actually am going to make something out of peaches. If I can find some good peaches, I don't know what the season is for peaches in Georgia. I'm guessing it's probably when it's a little warmer, but I'm sure that I could get some peaches. Thank you. Yeah. The coffee, I'm going to refill. So, I used up my coffee jar, used up the last little bit. So here's what I do. I have those jars behind the passenger seat. I use those. Good morning, Hala. I use the you know how cars have like those net things for like, to keep stuff in behind the seats? That's my spice rack, and then that's my coffee creamer, and then I have, I think, pumpkin seeds and walnuts in the other two. But then I keep backup supplies. Yeah, I love my coffee press too. I keep backup supplies of everything under the bed. I have a Tupperware bin, so like my coffee. And then that way I can it keeps things kind of tidy up here, but I can refill. Like I have more. So it's time to refill the jar with the coffee. And then I'm gonna make some coffee. Yeah, the coffee press was a score. Hi, Edith. Hello. Good to see you. That's a new name. Welcome. So, and then I'll pour a little in here. I've never seen one this small though, and it's gold. Ah, I was so excited. It's gold. I love gold. And I've never seen one so small. Like, it's really small. I think I did this. Like, it's 1 cup. So, perfect. And then I just pour some in here. It's gonna get hot once I get the water boiling. It warms it up in here. I don't want to make it too strong because I already had some strong coffee. I've been running off like caffeine and excitement lately just to like be back on the road. And yeah, I've been trying to DoorDash a lot. But I think I'm gonna, somebody commented on here that they were gonna do a detox, like a tea detox, and I thought that was a good idea. I might cut down on caffeine, but I'm enjoying it right now. So where's everybody at? So I'm in Georgia. It's warm. And Wayne, you said you were in the UK. That's cool. And it's 3 p.m. So now I just fill up my water, my trusty teapot. Did you guys like the gray water system? I posted a little bit about that, and I've been trying it out. It's working pretty well. Oh, Long Island, nice. Nice. New York. I love New York. I really do. It was fun to be there. It wasn't for too long, but I had fun. I don't know if I've ever been to Long Island, though. Maybe when I was a kid, like 6. Oh, in Norfolk? Nice. UK? Yeah, I love Georgia, too. I'm surprised. I just, so I looked up the, like, car camping. Oh, in Wales, Wayne, nice. In Saskatchewan, nice. What part is that? Is that over like Washington, Saskatchewan? I did. I only spent 1 night in New York, and then I woke up to catch that ferry to go to across Cape May over into Maryland. And somebody mentioned Assateague Island, and I actually did go there, and I did see some horses, and it was really beautiful. But I think they're pretty strict about like recording and filming, and so I didn't want to risk it But that's why I was excited to go to the Outer Banks and show those wild horses, but then that storm, the storm was approaching, and I was like, I like adventure, but I also have a little bit of common sense. North Dakota? Okay, cool. North Dakota. I bet it's cold up there, right? North Dakota? Let me get the water going here for this. How's the weather in North Dakota? Do you have any snow? It feels like there's, like, I'm not seeing a ton of snow around these days. Well, maybe in Washington. Technical book. Oh, okay. Oh, Brooklyn. Yeah. Oh, it's prairies in North Dakota. Yeah, I've definitely been to Brooklyn. I used to have a friend that lived in Brooklyn, so I'd go visit. It was a little while ago, but yeah. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I've been on Long Island. New York's cool. The way it's got like the boroughs and like they all kind of like blend. I like New York. It's I find it like a comfortable city to be in. Yeah. So I also mixed up this coffee creamer. So I had got coffee creamer, but it tends to be like there's a lot of chemicals in it, like the coffee creamer, the powdered stuff. It's really easy and I like the flavor. I like the French vanilla. However, I told myself when it ran out that I was gonna make something that was like a little healthier. So I got some organic powdered milk and the leftover powdered sugar from the cinnamon rolls, and I just mixed that. So I'm trying that out. I think granulated sugar might work a little better to mix it with. I do like a little sweet in my coffee, but we're gonna try that out. I had some this morning. It seemed to work pretty well. And now for the second cup. Yeah, it's crazy to be like warm. Good morning, Jay Swansea. Good morning. Merry Christmas to you as well. Normally, what is SK? Is it normally, I think you said you were in North Dakota. You're having warmish weather. Yeah, it seems like that. And then it was like colder in places like, I heard Florida, when I was live last time, people were saying that Florida had cooler temperatures. I think it's gonna warm back up, but it's a tech, not everyone agree. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you're born and bred in Brooklyn? Nice. I like Brooklyn. Bushing and, Bushwick and Flushing is where I used to spend time. Flushing and Bushwick, that area. That was in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, Saskatchewan. So there's no snow in Saskatchewan? Oh, is Saskatchewan over North Dakota? I was thinking it was more west. I'd love to learn my Canadian geography, because I don't, I'm sad to say I don't really know much Canadian. I know where British Columbia is. And I know I'd like to go to Nova Scotia someday, which is that, okay, I'm going to embarrass myself. Let me stop. Is Nova Scotia part of Canada? Ontario, another Canadian in the house. Hi, good morning, Pink Banjo. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm messing up Canadian. I'm gonna assign myself some homework. Look, I was taking notes this morning. I'm gonna add that. Learn my Canadian geography. Because it's somewhere I'd like to travel and explore too. Merry Christmas, Marilyn. Now I just have to find my pen. Yeah. East coast of Canada. Okay, so Nova Scotia is, yeah. Yeah, and Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, I think is up there as well. I would love, I actually have like a French-Canadian ancestor that was in French Canada, that part, for like a lot, like it goes way back. You do? You want to go to the east? Oh, and the St. Lawrence River, I think, like up that way. But okay, I'm gonna write it down. Let's see. Learn my Canadian geography. I've been all about the notes lately. They help me organize my thoughts. Yeah. Oh, do they? Icebergs float? Wow. Yeah, totally. Let's go. Yeah, icebergs float past Newfoundland? Whoa, that's cool. That's cool. I got a hot pad because I always burn myself. Where am I today? I'm in Savannah, Georgia. Right now, I'm in a parking lot of a store just hanging out. I had to drive around a little bit to find some Wi-Fi. I wanted to go live a little bit earlier, but it's all good. I got myself a hot pad finally because I've burnt myself more times. This handle heats up. Yeah. Yeah, Georgia. I love Georgia. And this is super easy. And that way I keep my teapot kind of tidy for like, I don't know, I use my teapot all the time to heat up water for dishes, for tea, for like instant noodles, like things like that. I like to keep it clean. If I make coffee in it, then I have to like clean out the coffee. So this is my coffee thing. And now, oh, right here. I'm gonna let it steep, I guess would be the word. I don't know, for a while, like sit for a while and do its thing. Canada's on your bucket list? Yeah. Nice. Oh, that's good to hear. They're nice people. Thank you. Yeah, it is really cozy. Here's my light. Pow. I don't know if you guys have any questions about the car. I think you guys want to, okay, I'm going to cut this off. I talked about this before and I didn't do it because it's a big move, but I'm going to cut the seatbelt off in the back. I don't know if that's like allowed, but like I'm going to wait on that actually. I'm not going to do that, but I will do that soon. I'm going to do some research. How long have I been living in my car? I got this car in August. And this summer I was in my car probably 95% of the time. I have a son in Washington, and he just graduated high school, so he was kind of transitioning and getting on his own. So I was part-time car life starting in like April because to transition him. And last fall I did a road trip that was about 7 weeks, and I lived out of my Corolla. So the way I've done car life is I've eased into it. So April I did part-time, then over the summer when he was done and graduated, I was pretty much full-time, and now, thank you. Well, okay, and then I also lived in my van for 6 months in like when I was like 20, I lived in my van. Actually 19. I lived in a van, and that was a while ago when I didn't have like this cool little one burner stove. There wasn't a lot of like support and community. There was no internet. I don't think. There definitely weren't smartphones, or even like, yeah, it was a while ago. I don't want to date myself too much, but yeah, it was a while ago. So it wasn't, I didn't know anybody else doing it at the time. And so I learned a lot of like where to park, how to move. I did get a knock one time from the police at a park that I stayed at frequently. So I kind of went through that. Sometimes I would ask like friends park like outside their houses, and that was the way I did it too. So I've had that experience, and then I converted a van, let's see, right around when I started my YouTube channel. So it'll be 2 years in April. And so 2 years ago this time I had my van, well, February of 2022, I bought a Dodge Cargo van and I converted it. And I still had an apartment because I wanted a roof over, my son, like for him. I wasn't going to live in a cargo van with a 17-year-old son. Like I wanted to see that through. And fortunately, he's very independent. I mean, I've kind of fostered that independence in him. And so that's also allowed me to be a little, at this point in life, a little more responsibility free. But yeah, So I converted the van. I traveled in that. Like he and I went on a road trip, and yeah, it's been a series. So thank you. I do feel pretty comfortable living in my car. So I feel like it's been longer than just a few months because of like the yeah. Well, thank you. I get that a lot. I think I have a pretty youthful spirit. I don't know, but yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Um, yeah. So that's kind of like my journey. I have a goal. So here's a little bit. I was a teacher, and I was actually like became a coach, an instructional coach that works with teachers in of Head Start classrooms, and so due to like my lack of sobriety, let's just say, I got into a situation, and I no longer do that job. I resigned, but that is something that I had to kind of work through, and so I left teaching in a formal field, and it's scary. It's scary to be a single parent and try to. Sorry, I'm gonna pour my coffee. To be. Sorry, this is exciting. I love the. But figuring out like how to make ends meet, how to make all that happen, in light of kind of everything that had gone down. And so the first step was choosing a sober lifestyle for me. That was huge. And so that's like a no thank you. Yeah, that's just like I don't want to say it's a no-brainer, but it's like it's not even like a consideration. And it definitely brought me through spiritual journey, I guess you'd say. I mean, it felt like it was just me and God for a lot of that process, which is really strengthening and really hard. But I just kept telling myself, if I put one foot in front of the other, and sometimes those steps feel tiny, they feel like the tiniest little steps, and it was just enough to like get through the day. And at some point and then there was like the COVID happened. And so that was a big world thing that was also, I just took that time and really went in and made some choices within myself. And I thought about, what do I want to do? Now that I felt like the opportunity to use my degree and my experience and my education was no longer available. Thank you. Yeah, it's been huge. But now that felt like it was no longer available in the same way, like I had kind of built my way up in this career world. It's like, where do I go from here? And what do I really want to do in my life? With the rest of my life, what is it that I want to do? And I've always wanted to live off the land. Okay. Very warm, mild winter. Yeah, no snow. Yeah. It's just different. Yeah. Big question. Oh, does that mean you have a... Oh, yeah, that is a big question. Like, what... And, when I was about 13, 12, I think I read The Lord of the Rings by Tolkien and The Hobbit, and I was like, that sounds so cool to have like I started just daydreaming about like what my ideal kind of living situation would be. Good morning, Cindy, just me in my van. Good morning. Yeah. And so in the kind of daydreaming, I mean, there's always a silver lining or a gold lining. I mean, and I think that the challenges that we go through, and sometimes at the time we see them as setbacks, but they're actually opportunities for growth. There they can be. It's, depending how we view things. And we have that choice every morning when we wake up, no matter what our situation is. Still trying to figure it out. Yeah. It's okay to be figuring it out too. Like and it changes, like, but what hasn't changed for me sense all of that is that I would love to be able to live off the land as closely as possible. And the easiest way I see to do that is to have some land that I'm allowed to grow fruit trees, a garden. I'm not really interested in like having the title to a piece of land. Like that doesn't appeal to me. But I would like to know that I can kind of create something that I can plant fruit trees and I know that they can flourish, and grow, and even after I'm not here, being able to provide fruit, and a perennial garden, and things like that, like a water source that I can access. Test papers, yeah, like litmus, or like a test, like, yeah. I mean, it's an opportunity. And then, wow, I went through that. And not only did I get through that, there's been doors opened because of that wouldn't have been opened. I mean, to be 100% honest, I was getting a little complacent in my job. It was very comfortable. It paid well. I had a lot of flexibility. I had a lot of freedom to kind of create what I wanted to do. Some of it was doing professional developments around teaching methods. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And it was nice to work with kids. But I was getting a little bit complacent. And I think that's probably why, I don't know. Sobriety is an interesting thing. I think that we aren't always taught how to cope with pain. And so that we carry pain, whether it's from the past, whether it's from a current situation, whether it's fear, anxiety of the future, it all shows up kind of like pain. And if we aren't able to sit with the pain, and know that we'll get through it, then we turn to other things like substances or different things to mask the pain or to try to lessen it. And it actually is detrimental, because the pain, until we feel it and learn from it and work through it and grow from it and figure out how to, heal from it and then create healthier situations in the future, it'll keep showing up. So, I mean, I'm grateful for sobriety for that. And, yeah, that's it, being able to sit with pain. Yeah, absolutely. It turns out working out the pain is easier than spending years. Yes. One thing I did after all that happened, so Louise Hay, there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of kind of like animated voices, I think. Hello. Good morning, Arcox. Good morning, Yves. Louise Hay. There's one though, the 101 Power Thoughts, and there's a couple that it's just affirmations. And I would go to sleep listening to those. It's about an hour long, and I would just play it every single night, even though it was the same one. I would put that on and I'd go to sleep. And I did that one night, and I found that when I woke up, I was really well rested. I felt very at peace in my heart, and just kind of like how I felt. And so I did it again the next night, and I just kept doing that. And she talks about like mirror work, being able to look and like talk to yourself. So those are some of the things. At first it's hard, I was like, I don't even want to look in the mirror, let alone say nice things to myself. Like that was hard. And it's something that takes practice. So it's not just like a one-time thing. It's something that takes practice. And, but we can do that work on ourselves and heal. It is continual, and then life will test us. Those tests constantly come. And so even though we learn and we grow and we heal, we will be tested. That's just part of life, because growth is there's not an end point to growth. There's not there might be a plateau, there might be a slowdown period, but there's not a stopping point to growth. And that would be death. I mean, it's like, so while we have this opportunity to grow, I want to grow. I want to keep growing and learning and growing and learning. Abraham Hicks. Yeah. Yep. Louise Hayes talks about Abraham Hicks. Yeah. So that was part of it. So the choice to become sober, doing the work on myself, and and then the land and the tiny home. And I thought, I have this job. I was working at a natural food store at the time, and I was making, I think like $15 an hour, 15.70 or around there, and which was much lower than I had been making teaching. And I thought, okay, learning to love yourself doesn't come easy. No, it doesn't. No, and it's constant. I found like there's times in the last couple of years where I was like, oh yeah, I've got this, like, and then stuff comes up in life that stirs up parts that haven't been healed yet, and then that's an opportunity to heal. It's constant. But the more we do it, I talk about self-worth. I've talked about that on here, and I think that's helped me learn to love myself, like cultivating self-worth, which is figuring out, it's like making choices that make me feel proud of myself. For me, that's how I look at it. So like my choice to be sober, in the beginning, it wasn't like cold turkey. And then in the beginning, I really tuned into how do I feel about myself if I choose sobriety versus if I don't. And when I chose sobriety, it might have been harder in that moment, or like hard to get through that moment. But in the long run, I felt really proud of myself versus not choosing sobriety. And then, yeah, maybe it numbed the pain for a little bit. But then on the other side of that, I would feel horrible about myself. Yeah. Your vice is food. Yeah. I mean, that's, again, I think it's us baby steps. If there's some part of food that you want to focus on, eating a little more healthy, just one little step at a time. And whether it's like cutting down sugar intake or adding more vegetables or whatever your healthy, because I think it's individual to the person too, like what healthy, what that looks like. I know, like for me, I feel much better not eating gluten, but that's not for everybody. So things like that, and just taking little steps at a time, and then again checking in with yourself when you do make that choice to make healthier choices. How do you feel after that versus not? And I started to really grow to love that feeling that I felt, how I felt about myself when I made choices, tuning into that feeling. As humans, we don't endorse ourselves for all the good things, and we tend to focus on the negative. Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like there's kind of natural optimists and pessimists, I guess you could say, that people just are like born into this world looking at things different ways. But I think that our society kind of thrives on drama, and that it's used as a way to kind of catch attention, and that one thing that catches attention is negativity. And I'm not sure why. I think it hooks a fear part of our brain, and so it's like we get a lot of that to like grab our attention and hook the fear part of our brain. We get a lot of that because it does grab our attention. So a big thing I've done, or I've tried to do, is to protect my peace of mind. And that's like what I choose to focus on, but also what I'm around. So that's one reason I love to spend a lot of time in nature, because that kind of stimuli, like the natural world, is very soothing for me mentally, and it doesn't hook the like fear part. Well, I mean, okay, if I'm driving out into an island in the middle of the Atlantic and there's a storm coming, yeah, I get a little so I mean, there are like natural disasters, I guess, but I think you guys hopefully get what I'm saying, of just like protecting our peace of mind, figuring out what helps calm our mind, and spending time with that. But I'm gonna pour a little coffee. I already poured the coffee. So yeah. But the land and the tiny home is a big part of that journey too. Oh yeah, my creamer worked well. I don't even know if I mixed it up. Maybe I did. I got off on a tangent. So having land someday, and I realized that, oh yeah, back to this was an original question about living in my car. So I converted the van, and with the plan to live in it, thinking if I kept working at that natural food store, I would be able to reduce my bills enough. Um, oh, with the cloves? Nice. Yeah, I didn't read the rest of that, but yeah, the pomander orange, it smells really good. I might have to like replace the yarn a little bit, but I was like, well, if I use vehicle dwelling as a way to, and this was like 2020, maybe around February, April, I think is when I designed the plans, because I remember being in the bulk herb aisle and it was like I had to serve the bulk herbs because people weren't allowed to use the self-serve bulk herbs anymore, just because of like the sanitation restrictions. So during that time, I had a lot of time in between customers, and everybody was like mostly at home, so it was slow too. And I was grateful that I had that job, you know, because there were a lot of people that didn't have work during that time. And but I kind of hatched the plan of vehicle dwelling, reducing my bills, saving up money, and using cash to buy land and a tiny home. And I felt like that was a way to then have a place to call home and kind of live the way I wanted to, where I still had kind of freedom and simplicity, and then I would be able to work to travel at that point. Once I had that and knew I had that foundation, I could make income still to maintain things there, but also travel while I, you know, have the energy to do that. So it changed a little. I sold the van because I quit that job. It was a great place to work, but I didn't really have a lot of flexibility with my schedule, and I just needed to take some time. So that turned into just like moving on from that job. But then I DoorDashed, which I've always done. Good morning, Douglas. Merry Christmas to you as well. I've done DoorDash for a long time. I think 2017 when they brought Uber Eats to Tacoma, I started doing it, and then DoorDash 2018. So when I quit my job, I started full-time DoorDashing, and I sold the van to kind of make ends meet during that time, while I was transitioning. And I bought a Toyota Corolla, and I thought, you know, I'm going to revisit this living in my vehicle dream, because right now you know, that's just the way everything unfolded. And then I realized I could sleep in my car, my Toyota Corolla. I realized, you know what? The seats could come out, the seats fold down. That was the first big thing. The seats folded down, and then I could take the seats out, and that made it even more comfortable. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm going for it. And the gas mileage was so much better for like DoorDash, but the engine blew a head gasket and valve and a couple other things. There's some like videos about that whole process, and it's they quoted, I think it was around $3,000. And so I got this vehicle, which has been a huge blessing, actually. But and then I had a serving job over the summer, and that was kind of up in the mountains in Washington. So I was living in this car and doing the serving job. Yeah, so that's kind of like my car life journey. What's amazing is that I've done the reducing my bills part. I do have like this car payment only has 7 more payments. It's coming to the end. Happy dance. You retire May of this year. Yes, congratulations. That's exciting. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, retirement, I hope I always work, but I hope that I work at things that I want to be doing. And I think depending on our age, like that might look different. Like when I'm getting, you know, to the point where physically I'm not as able, I hope to be writing or illustrating. I always wanted to write and illustrate a children's book. I would love to do that. Hi, Adeens? Yeah. Oh yeah, Scotland. Merry Christmas. Yay, it's good to see you. Yeah, Scotland. I hope to get to Scotland someday. Scotland, Ireland. I've heard great things about Scotland. Yeah. Oh, my coffee's good. And that creamer is good. I think I'm onto something with that creamer. But, yeah. But congratulations on your retirement. That's cool. And do you have plans now that you're retired? But yeah, I'd like to write a children's book someday. I actually drafted one this summer and I wrote it all down. And I want to illustrate it. So I remember in 3rd grade and we were in the library. You do a lot of camping and road trips? Nice. Oh, yay. Yes, perfect. That's fun. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of people out here. And I'm excited just to see, like, to build community of nomadic car dwellers and vehicle dwellers. So that part is new because I was kind of rooted in one area and I need to. Oh, I know. Actually, yes, it is still white, but I was just looking at it today and it's getting a little, I think I want to brush it. Maybe like a dog brush or something. I want to brush it. There was some glitter from the 1000 Live just there. And there's always a bunch of pine cone debris here that I always wipe off. But yeah, it stayed pretty well. Hi, Susie. Good morning from Southwest Alabama. Good morning. How's the weather in Southwest Alabama? You're going to Quartzsite in January? Nice. Yeah. I've heard Quartzsite is like huge and there's like lots of people there. But it also seems like that there's space that you could kind of get away from people too. So we'll see where my journey leads me. I think it would be really, so my kitchen area, there's a part that I need some help with, like a drill or something. I keep trying to like screw this one part in, but because of the angle, and I just have a handheld screwdriver, it's really hard and it would help the stability. And I was thinking, because I was at the campground and I took everything, you'd love to go there nice. Yeah. That'd be cool. And I was thinking I've heard that you can get like things fixed up, like repairs and stuff, that like there's like workshops at Quartzsite to help with things like that. So that's kind of an appeal. Like maybe somebody has an electric drill or like, well, I used to have a wireless drill. When I moved into my car, I sold all that stuff, I was like, I will need wireless tools someday when I have a tiny home, but I just wanted to let go of everything. It's nice today. You're expecting rain Sunday and Monday. Yeah, I think in this area too. I was looking at the weather forecast. Today's supposed to be beautiful and 68 and sunny, and I'm excited to maybe find some outdoor adventure to get into. Yes, Bob Well on YouTube is great. Yeah. Yep. He's a great resource. And he's also a great connector of people and kind of highlighting different people's vehicles. And I just like, his whole vibe of creating community. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I get people anxiety and a lot of, like, in big crowds. So I would probably, like, hide in my car for, like, 3 days. And then I'd probably get, like, really hot or something. And I'd be like, I need to go. And I'd just, like, I have a fold-up rocking chair, and it's back there. And so I would probably set that up and just, like, maybe build a fire and just sit in my rocking chair and just, like, wait. And maybe, hopefully, these people would come up to me. But also it'd be an opportunity for me to work on reaching out to people and saying hi. I've been trying to do that a little more. Just like conversation. You guys help with this. This process helps with that. I can get very I enjoy my solitude, and I always can find stuff to do. You're also an introvert. Oh, thank you. Yes, this community is fantastic. You guys are so supportive, and really fun to like go live and have you guys show up and we can interact, and I love it. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate you guys watching the videos and liking the videos and commenting. And I've said it before, like I always, sometimes I'm door dashing or sometimes I don't have reception. Rock and Rowan. Oh, that reminds me of something I'll get to in just a moment. But I don't always get to respond to the comments right away. Sometimes I just need to put my phone down at the end of the night, but I really appreciate them. And so thank you. And I read them, and I like to respond to them all. So, but if I don't, or if I miss one, please know it's yeah, the group therapy sessions. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that reminds me, I'm so excited about this. I've got like, oh, thanks, Douglas. Yeah, hit that like button. I have some new things. I'm so excited. So I have a new design I've been working on, and I'm hoping that by the end of the year, like starting the new year, I'd like to get a few things up, couple mugs. And anxiety is so real. Yeah, you like people. Yeah, I didn't I was like stuck on the anxiety is so real part. I was like, it really is. But I need some water. That's what I need. So I have here's my water mug. Yeah, I like when people reach out too, but I'm also learning that it's okay to reach out. Like, it's okay, like, just to be more comfortable. And I think, like, the more comfortable we are with ourselves, whether it's, like, solitude or not, or whatever it is, then that helps the process too. And, like, being comfortable with going to Quartzsite possibly, and just sitting in my rocking chair outside my car, like, being okay with that, and not feeling, I think when I was younger and I'd go to, like, festivals and stuff. Oh, yeah, no, not a lame question at all, and I'm happy to address that, about the shower and the washroom. But yeah, when I was younger, I mean, I've always kind of been a little bit of a loner, but I put pressure on myself to kind of, like, interact more, I think, like, and I think it's good to accept ourselves and who we are, and just also know that I can show up and be in a group of people, and it's okay to, like, not, like, feel an obligation to, like, go meet everybody that's out there in this huge group. Like, it's, I don't know, just being comfortable with ourselves. But yeah, the shower and the washroom. So the last shower I had was at that campground that I stayed at. And someone asked, it was $49, which is a little pricier. I mean, I'm used to camping for free in Washington. There actually was, like, a free spot that I found a little bit north of here, but there was not even, like, no cell service, no Wi-Fi, nothing. And I just didn't want to set up shop there. Yeah, so for $49, which is a little pricey, but a day pass, yes, exactly. So when you're at Quartzsite, you can go. That's what I'm realizing too, is like, oh, wait a moment. I have my home with me at all times. So if I need to kind of just, like, and I could, like, park in somewhere more remote and, like, open up the back and just relax, like, so I'll probably end up there, to be honest, but I'm not sure how in the mix I'm gonna be. Where am I heading next? Well, I have a couple ideas. I was actually thinking about that this morning. And I'm definitely looking for some warm weather. I'm enjoying it. It's nice today. It actually feels like a little bit hot in here, which is, I haven't had that in in months, unless the heat was, like, blasting full on. Okay, so yeah, there was a time when I did a live and it was like 30 out, but I was hot. But it was because of the heat. Yeah, but today's supposed to be in the high 60s, so yeah. But I have a couple things, something I'm gonna, like, you'll see, you'll see. I'm gonna be posting, I'm trying to like post a lot because I'm moving around and it's fun to show you guys what I'm up to. So I'm hoping to keep that up, continue posting as I move around to different places and kind of show you guys. The shower and the washroom. So like washroom, I'm guessing like you mean like bathrooms. So I have when I DoorDash, it's nice because I can go in and use the facilities. Like if I have a pickup, and sometimes there's a wait when you go in to pick up the order. And so I'll use the bathroom during that time. And before I kind of tuck in for the night, I like to find like a grocery store or a Walmart or McDonald's, something like that, where I feel comfortable just going in, not purchasing something necessarily. I mean, I might if I, water or whatever, but I just can just go in and use the bathroom. And same within the morning. I do have a situation. It's not my gray water. I want to clarify this too, because I think that some people thought that gray water was like where like caustic water, like pee and stuff. That's not. It's basically dishwater. Or like when I clean out my coffee pot, like I already did that once this morning, and I just poured the leftover coffee. There's some grounds in here, so I added some water and just rinsed it around, and I poured it in my gray water tank. And now that jug, I'm not going to pour it on the ground. I know that there are dumping stations, sometimes at gas stations or at campgrounds. And hi, Nurse Babs, howdy, welcome. And so that you can just kind of pour that down in the dumping station. You can also so it's like a gallon and it'll be capped, and I can also take it into a bathroom and pour it in the toilet and deal with it that way. But I think for the most part with that, and what somebody said, hi Comfy Creations, welcome. I think what somebody said is that it's fine. You're making a live. Yeah, I decided to go in the morning on a weekend, and I was like, you know what, to be available at a different time, hopefully catch some people that aren't normally able to make the ones that are in the evening. But I think I can just take that gallon with the dirty dishwater, cap it, and put it into the garbage. And I know those things are recyclable, those gallon, oh, you do? Okay, that's good to know. A urine solidifier. I've never heard of that. But so that capped gallon, and honestly, it'll probably only be like a quarter to a half full by the time I'm ready to pour. So when I have a new fresh gallon, I'll put it in my water cooler, which I'm not going to mess with the camera. It took me a while to get it set up, but it's about a third full. So I'm going to need to add it's ready for another full gallon. So what I'll do is there's this one piece of tape holding that gray water tank. So I'll take off the tape, pull out the gray water, put the cap on it from the new gallon, and cap it. And then after I've emptied the new gallon into here, I'll put that tape back on, and that'll be my new gray water tank. And then I'll have purchased another gallon that I'll have like on deck ready to use. And that's kind of my system. So then I'll have a capped gallon. And then, oh, okay, Amazon has the urine solidifier. I'll have to check that out and just look into that. Yeah, that could be handy. So then I take that, and I'm thinking I can just put the capped thing in a dumpster, but I want to look into that a little more. Somebody said that was fine. I just want to make sure, like dishwater, I don't see why it wouldn't be. But good morning, Lewis. It's a game changer. Yeah, I'll check that out. So I do have something that I can go pee in, and for like emergencies or in the middle of the night. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah. I mean, it's taken a while, like in terms of like where to park and things like that. I feel like I have experience with that. I've gotten pretty comfortable with that, kind of how to move. But some of the like my teeth brushing system, I always just go into a public bathroom, but I don't like doing that. So this morning I was fine tuning my teeth brushing, and even like where I keep my stuff and my face. I recently got this washcloth that's like dedicated to face washing, and it has like a scrubby side, and I want to get like a witch hazel. So that to wipe, I don't like using real cleansing stuff, but witch hazel and um, rosehip oil is what I like to use for moisturizer. So getting kind of that stuff that I feel like, so I don't feel like I'm just like always, I don't know, that self-care stuff that's important, the hygiene, like washing my face, doing my routines with that, and getting in a teeth brushing routine more. So that's kind of the stuff I'm fine-tuning. But I do have a bin that I keep under the bed. It's about the size of a shoebox, and I will use that in a pee emergency. So when I was in colder climates, or if I'm like stealth parking, like, I don't know, where I don't want to get out of the car at night, like on the street, like in New York, like I didn't have to go pee in the middle of the night because I went to that coffee shop, but I could have used it before, or if I had needed to wake up in the middle of the night, I would have used that rather than getting out at 3 a.m. and trying to find a bathroom somewhere. So I do have that bin and I do use it. And inside the bin that I have, it's just a Tupperware with a lid that snaps on, and I have a half gallon with a lid and a funnel. And so I'll pee in the bin and then I'll use the funnel and pour that in the cider container. And then I will spray it all down and use paper towels and clean that. And then I'll have that, and I can take that into like a toilet and dump it. So that's that. I don't love talking about that, but I know people are curious. And then the shower, there's rec centers you can sometimes like $5, sometimes they're free day passes, sometimes they're a little bit more. The Y has day passes, that tends to be a little bit more than like a recreational center. I was going to see about the campground that I stayed at if I could just go use their shower rather than purchasing like a whole shower, a whole campsite. Just see if I could go in and use just the shower facilities, because they have like a $5 day pass, and I don't know if that includes the comfort station in the campground. I'm guessing it doesn't, but they might be willing to do that. So those are kind of some shower ideas. And I do have that shower curtain. It was a little too cold in the north where I was to outdoor shower. I mean, I know people do it, but I'm not gonna do that. I would be like freezing. I mean, it was a lot of nights there. It was, when I woke up in the morning, it'd be like 19, 21. It was cold. It was, and the highs were like high 30s. I mean, it was cold. But I didn't want to take an outdoor shower. But now that I'm in a warmer climate, I might try out my privacy curtain, and my shower that I have. So I also have these. You were full-time. Oh, 2 separate incidents happened. I'm curious what your incidents. I have these body wipes that are like more than just wipes. Good morning, Melody. Nice to see you. I have not regretted giving up apartment living. Nope. I mean, I used to. So once I made the decision that I wanted to reduce my bills, it was painful to sit. I mean, I didn't really use anything other than the living room except to sleep. And you can sleep in your living room. It's a process, something one doesn't consider. What's a process? Sorry, there's like motorcycles and a cop car. I'm not sure I don't know what that was, but yeah, I used to sit in my living room and like be like, this is cost. So when I was working at the natural food store, like 70% of my income was going towards paying the rent, and that was hard. And it was hard to think, it was a little painful. Oh yeah, the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, there's some of the logistical stuff. It's part of like turning a car into a home, figuring out like, where am I going to brush my teeth? The bathroom, how do I keep food cool? How am I going to cook? How am I going to make my coffee in the morning? And so this also ties into what I'm like about the apartment living. It's like we realize, yeah, Yeah, over 1,600 a month. That's like, it was like 1,645. And then when you tack on like utilities, it was like, it's, you know, so, and I spent, that apartment did have a fireplace. It was really nice. And, I used to look around that room and, oh, it's okay, Douglas. It's all good. Um, it, it, uh, it, I used to look around that room and think, this is what I'm like working 9 to 5, like, well, it was like 7:30 to 4. Yeah, exactly. And then you can't save up to buy a house, and then it's like struggling to make ends meet. And so getting hit with a late fee, or, it's like something goes through, so something else overdrafts and something doesn't, like a credit card bill, and then you get slapped with like a late fee and a over the, like, it's not, it's hard. It's hard. And um it's hard to have so much going towards housing. And I would sit in the living room, and think, this is enough. Like, I could set up, especially when I was converting the van at the same time, and realizing like I can make it work with this van size space. And here I am coming back from working on that into this apartment that's like eating up such a large part of my income. And yes, I love the fireplace, but I can build fires outside. Once I'm vehicle dwelling, I can just build fires outside. So the fireplace is nice, it's cozy. When I have a tiny home someday, I would love it to have a wood stove. I just love the process of building fires, and I love the warmth of a fire, the sound, everything. But it was like all these, I don't need an extra bedroom. I don't need an extra kitchen. Yeah, that rent is hard. Yeah, it is a vicious cycle. Yeah, I mean, rent, 14, 15, 2,000, 2,200, and then you look at what minimum wage is in a lot of places, and there's no way. Like, it's like so out of whack. And I mean, you can look up at different times, like in this different periods, of like what the minimum wage and the average cost of housing, and it's just really out of balance these days. So I feel like vehicle dwelling is a way for people to be able to have a little more access to their earnings, to like do what they want. And for me, it's been a way to, I'm not, I don't, like, everything that I went through with the teaching job, it's like, I don't know what sort of income. I want to be able to have flexibility with my earnings, even if my hourly is pretty low. So that means I've got to reduce my bills. If I'm going to be working, for the minimum wage, then that means my bills have to be really low. And one way I can keep my bills really low is vehicle dwelling. And that was like kind of my train of thought. And I feel like that's the draw for a lot of people. I mean, it's very, very hard to work every day, get up, go to work, get up, go to work, and then feel at the end of the day, when you get your pay for that, it's all going towards housing. Yeah, and it might never, but I feel that for me, I've found a alternative avenue to be able to do what I want, while still, the reducing of the bills, then saving. And that's a huge thing too. So over the last couple of years, I've really reevaluated how I spend my money. So I was pretty irresponsible. I was making more money when I was teaching, but I wasn't very mindful of how I was spending it. So that's another side of the coin. I mean, there's more than two sides. So that's another side of another whatever part of the equation, is how we spend the money that we do have access to. 125. Wow. Yeah. Your first one bedroom apartment was $125 a month, and then it was over 2,000 when you, yeah. Yeah. So, and I think that consuming material things is another way that we cope with, or that we handle pain, or we handle boredom, or that we handle, just learn to make more money rather than doing with less, because even vehicles need maintenance. Do I still contribute to my son's money? I send my son $400 a month. So I don't, yeah, that's, I do. Um, so that's one of my bills. Then I have my car payment for this. That's a little more than that, and that's my biggest bill, but I only have 7 more payments, and then this car will be paid off. And I'm still paying for my Toyota because I financed that, so I have that. And those are my 3 big bills that I'm working with. So that's it. I'm so grateful not to have a huge rent bill. And it hurts a little to have 2 car payments, but combined it still doesn't equal what I was paying in rent. So I'm grateful for that. And this car, I'm grateful for this car because it's much more conducive to car life than the Corolla was. And I thought about just like tossing in the Corolla and letting it go, like surrendering it, I think is what they call it. But I've worked hard just to like be a little more responsible financially, and I didn't want to do that. So that's something that I'm just trying to manage my money a little bit more responsibly. So yeah. Oh yeah, the Take 5. Yeah. They were so friendly. They were great. And it was so quick. I think sometimes that's what, like, I saw the oil change. This car has like right now it's like 100% oil life, and the light comes on, the little wrench, which is like, and they are nice. And the wrench comes on at 15% oil life, and I was like, as soon as that came on, I was like, I just want like that wrench to go away. But it's intimidating to think about making an oil change and showing up. And sometimes they like, depending on where you go, they can't see you like right that day. And traveling, it's hard to like, I don't necessarily want to commit to being in an area for a long time. So I saw that. I was like, but that was the day. It was down to 5%. I was like, today I have to get an oil change because I don't feel good about door dashing and having the car running for it, or long drives. Like, yeah. And I saw that, and it was like wait in your car. And that was the other thing. Like, I don't really want to drop, I mean, it's my home. So, it's always a little bit hard when I drop my car off and then sit in a waiting room away from it, or like, because I'm like, what are they doing? But I got to just sit and drive up, and it was, I think technically the oil's supposed to drain for like an hour or so, I think, but it's fine. They were great. They were friendly. I got the water. The water was great. I was feeling dehydrated, and they were like, here, like they just complimentary water. So I found that people are very friendly in this area, and I like that. Yeah. Oh, you get a free van wash? Nice. Have I ever felt unsafe dashing? Good question. Yes, a couple times. I've done quite a few. I've done door dashing for a long time. Yeah, I like this area. But there's only been a couple times. I don't do a lot of door dashing at night, so that helps. And then there was one time where it was very remote, and I just got a weird feeling, and it was like so remote, like there was nobody around, and I just had a kind of a weird feeling. And so I'm just aware. It's like with anything, and you kind of just listen to your gut and your intuition. Nothing happened. I've never had any weird situations. So, but it's just listening to my gut. And in that case, I just kind of like kept my head on a swivel and made sure that I like was aware of my surroundings and there was like a kind of like a barn. It was like, and there were some things that big things. I just didn't want to like, you just keep some space between you and anything where somebody could be like hiding or something. And then hand it to the customer. And so I just was like quick and reached out and said thank you, and then kept going. Yeah. I've heard some horror stories about it, you know, and so then there was another order there. I heard about some horror story of somebody, and I think it was in the news, and it showed up somewhere. I don't know. I don't really spend a lot of time with the news, but somehow I became aware of this, and I was a little nervous for like the couple weeks after that, and there was one drop off, and I ended up canceling it because I looked at where it was going, and there was just something in my gut that just felt kind of weird, and it was like right around that time. And you know, if you cancel an order, somebody else will just pick it up, but I've never had anything really odd. I did have an Uber Drive. Like when I first started, I was an Uber driver, and that was like 2000. I did that for like a year when I like 2016, 17. I'm not sure, around then. And then I switched over to Uber Eats, which I liked better. But I did have a person in the car, and he was kind of weird. He was more just like putting a lot of pressure on me to drive fast and like weave in and out of traffic. And I was like, hold on, I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna drive all crazy because you're late to work. Like I showed up. I was prompt when I received the request. I was prompt when I picked you up, and I will get you there quick, on time, like with the flow of traffic. Like I'm not gonna be like running red lights and stuff for you. And you could tell he was like getting super aggravated in the back, and I'm like, I just had to let that roll off. I stopped trying to like have conversation or anything, and I just drove how I drove, and I like dropped him off. But I was like, is he gonna do something? Like that made me a little nervous, like how kind of aggressive he was with wanting me to like drive really fast. But no, other than that, I haven't had anything strange with DoorDash. People are really, more often than not, like really friendly. Yeah. Sometimes people try to like pull stuff like say that you didn't drop their food off when you did, and that's not cool. I've had that just twice, and one of them it shows up as like a contract violation, and that's kind of lame. But other than that, no. Yeah. So the comments, does anybody else have any questions about the car life, or like, I don't know. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm getting a little warm in here. And I see there's 30 people. Yeah, I still have my Christmas tree up. I was thinking about going live on Christmas. I don't have any plans for Christmas. Somebody commented, Uber now tells their drives they can end. Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. I haven't found, but I've heard of people that live in their car working a 9 to 5. I haven't, but I've heard people have commented on this channel that they are doing that. And yeah, which is kind of cool. And that's when I first thought about car dwelling. I was imagining, working at the natural food store, which was kind of a set job, and living in my car. So I know there are people that do it, and I've always thought that, like, if I really needed to, like, the serving job that I had this summer, which I'm grateful for because I was able to put a big down payment on this car. I thought I was going to have some savings coming out of the summer, but that helped me get this car. But that was a pretty decent paying job, and I've thought about that, like just like honing in one area for like a year and just trying to save up as much as possible through like a serving job, or trying to find like the best paying job that I could, and just doing it so that I could save up a chunk of money. But part of what I like about door dashing combined with vehicle dwelling is that there's so much freedom in it. And just for where I'm at right now, raising a kid, there's a lot of responsibility, and my first son passed, so I've been so grateful for the opportunity, and really that's meant the world. Like that's huge. But but it is a big responsibility. And so now that he's, you know, really independent, and I have a lot less responsibility in terms of just day to day. Like, you know, I don't really want to be tied to an area, and I might do it seasonally. Yes, yes, amen. He is absolutely a gift. I'm so blessed. My son is amazing. And, you know, they say that sometimes that have things taken away because they're going to be restored. In ways we can't even imagine, and that's true for my son. I'm so blessed. Yeah, so, oh, Robin, I see your question too. I don't have a Planet Fitness membership. I'd like to. I had kind of a weird situation with Planet Fitness where they were like double charging me for a while. I was under the assumption, like, I signed up at one point to just use it as a gym. And then I thought that it would just like run out after the year, but they kept charging. So I went to close that one so I could open another one, because I guess you had to like be tied to a certain location, even though you can use it anywhere. And so when I went to go open the new one, I had to go close the other one, which I thought I did. And so I opened the new one, and then they were double charging me. Like, they never closed that. And I don't want to have, absolutely. I have an angel. Yes. My first son. Yes. Yep. Yes, I am blessed. It's hard. You know, that was a hard thing to go through, but, there's lots of blessings in it. And we talk about like growth through the struggles. I learned a lot. That whole process taught me a lot about having faith. So these lessons come hard, but then we learn. And trying to remember that in the midst of hard times, like, that there's a lesson in this. You know, school of hard knocks, they say. And we can use these things that can knock us down, or they're opportunities to show that we can get back up again, and we can get back up again. And that process of getting back up again teaches us how to get back up again, and also gives us confidence that when we're struggling, that we will get back up again. So yeah, so no, I don't really want Planet Fitness. I don't want to have an automated payment. If there was a way to pay month to month at Planet Fitness, I'd love to. I've realized that, like, showers are great. And they really help my mood. This summer, I was doing a lot of swimming, and so I wasn't, like, yeah, the like, summertime and having access to, like, really fresh, nice water and being able to go swimming, that was very refreshing. But no. I need a shower. Yeah, the hard knocks give us strength. Yes, and they teach us about ourselves. They humble, you know, they, like, I think that there's a lot to be said for humility, and they help keep us humble. They also are an opportunity to build a community with people that have been through similar things. So while sometimes it feels like we're alone when we're going through hard times, it feels like we're alone. I remember losing my first son, and there wasn't a lot of support. Like, there was a support group of parents who had lost babies to SIDS, because that's what it was, sudden infant death syndrome. And there was a community, but I went to it was like a monthly meeting, and I went to go find it, and it wasn't there, like, at the hospital. Like, it was just closed. I couldn't find it. And when you're going through something like that, like a few weeks after something like that, like, I didn't have a lot of energy to try to, like, do the research to find out the support, and nobody could really tell me that kind of support. So I share the story of my son because at that time, what got me through are people in the community that stepped forward and shared with me that they had experienced something similar, and that is what helped. Yeah, Cindy, just me and your van. Yeah, see you. Thanks for coming on. See you next time. Have a wonderful day, Cindy, and happy holidays. I will probably, yeah, I'll go live again soon. I didn't see that question, Douglas. So those hard times can, I will. Oh yeah, Robin, can you ask your question again? I remember seeing it and then I think I never like went back to it. Um, yeah, if you could ask your question again, that would be great. So yeah, so hard times can help us build connections with people and realize, you know, kind of on a humanity level of like, we're all, you know, in one of my videos I was talking about, we all, you know, we all want to love, we all want to be loved, we all, you know, we have a lot more in common. Like, I think like, yeah. So sometimes the hard times make you realize what we just, you know, we come together and yeah. Anyway, Robin, are you in here? Oh, did I have savings going into living? No. I started to have savings this summer. I was like so excited about it. And so I guess timing wise, I had like $100 in savings. But I was using, yeah, I didn't fully read all of that comment, if you could put it again. But yeah, it is, yeah, there's a lot of people that have dealt with the loss. Almost everybody, I think, experiences loss to some level, and we can relate the grief of loss, that feeling of grief of loss, like it's relatable, even though the grief feels very alone. But no, I was so excited to open up a savings account and put that money in there, and I was using car dwelling as yeah, it is heartbreaking. Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And the grief never goes away, but it becomes an honor. That's what I've realized. Like the grief, like it becomes about honoring who the person was and the experience of knowing that person and honoring them and their memory and who they were. And that's a place for the love. They say grief is like love with nowhere to go, but that's a way, that's, yeah. So, yeah, I had $100. I was so excited to put that $100 in savings. And then when the timing belt, I mean, not the timing belt, when the, I also had a timing belt replacement in this car. So I've had some like big car stuff this summer. Yes, that's true, Jim. Part of love is grief. I had some big expenses this summer with the cars. So the down payment, that would have been savings. I did not have savings going into car life. I was super excited to open up a savings account at a credit union, and I still have that savings account. But I'm gonna rebuild my savings now. That's my goal. I'm in a transition year I've reduced my bills, and I had some unexpected big expenses, like the Toyota engine going, and then I put the down payment on this car, and so fortunately I only have 7 more payments. I had a year of payments, and so that's almost, you know, halfway paid off, and then the down payment, and then I did a timing belt because of the mileage, so it was like a preventative, like just routine maintenance, and that was a big chunk of money as well, and so that would have been my savings. So now it kind of like zeroed out, and I'm rebuilding again. And I have the 2 car payments, so, but that's temporary. I'm in this transition time, and it's a long-term thing to build up savings for a tiny home and for land. Those are goals that I've had for years, and it's part of a bigger plan of reducing my bills, having low bills, and then DoorDash is, and for my income, DoorDash is the big part of my income. And then when I hit 1,000 subscribers, no, it wasn't. When I hit 1,000 subscribers and became monetized, YouTube is a source of income now, and it's enough to cover one of the car payments, which is super exciting. And just the interaction and the engagement, I think it's the watching of the ads. So I appreciate that when people watch the ads, because that's a way to show support for me and my lifestyle. Yes, and then the followers, subscribers, that's, yeah, the idea of a land in a tiny home, absolutely. That just feels like freedom to me. Like freedom, that feels like freedom. But yeah, the watching the ads increases the monthly income for YouTube. So my goal is to, I love door dashing. I'll probably always do it. It's just fun. And traveling and door dashing is great. And it's a way, I was thinking this yesterday while I was door dashing, it's a way to explore an area. I mean, if I was coming to Savannah, I'd want to drive around anyway and see the different parts of Savannah, and DoorDash is a way to do that. That's kind of fun. It's like you just accept an order and the GPS tells you go here and you drop off, and you're getting the interaction with people at the pickups, at the restaurants, other people waiting for food, and then at the drop-offs. A lot of times now people say to like drop off at the door. Property taxes, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Tennessee has low property. That's good to know. Yeah. You watch them? You watch the ads, Douglas? I hope that's what you mean. Thank you. That's cool. Yeah, that helps. So, and so I'm in a transition of like getting the cars paid off, and taking that money and putting it into savings. But yeah, DoorDash is the bulk of my income at this point. I mean, I was working at the farm, and the farm job was enough to cover my bills, like barely. So that's why I haven't done, oh, is it property taxes in Florida? Yeah. Yeah, door dashing is great to get to know an area, and, and also you get to see like all the different foods. I love food, so that's fun to like get to see all the different foods in an area, and yeah, I love that part. Yeah. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, property taxes is definitely, that's like a thing. So I did own a home for a little bit in Tacoma, and the property tax, it was kind of hard because the property taxes went up a lot in that area. Family looking out for family. Yes. Amen to that. Yeah, thanks you guys for watching the ads and the videos and the comments and all that stuff. It really, really helps. I do the videos because it's fun, and I enjoy the interaction with you guys and the support. I spend a lot of time by myself, but I don't feel alone. Yeah, new restaurants to check out, absolutely, because of our interaction, and it is like you guys are coming along with me. Like the last video, and I'm like, I'm gonna make cinnamon rolls. Like I felt like I'm like sharing them with all of you guys, and then like you're all in the passenger seat coming door dashing, like let's check out this like cool stuff together, and knowing that like I'm recording it and I'm gonna share that, it's fun. So I do it for the fun, and I do it for the community we're building and the interaction, and to be able to show and share and hopefully inspire and inform people. But it is nice that it is earning some income that helps. And so you guys interacting, liking, commenting, watching the ads, I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful, and it makes that land in that tiny home more of a reality. It's like I can see the progress. You didn't think of considering doing something like DoorDash just to stay busy and have something to do, but yeah, DoorDash is great. So I started Uber driving when I first, when I first was like, whoa, I need to not be going out partying on the weekends and drinking. I signed up for Uber driving, as a way, as an alternative, because I was in the habit of like going to clubs on the weekends. So I was like, let me sign up for Uber. This was like, I don't know, 2017 maybe. And I started Uber driving on the weekends, and it was fun. I was like, you know what? I actually enjoy this more because I'm like, it's like you could see people getting ready and you'd be dropping them off at like bars and clubs and picking them up. This was while I was like teaching, but like on the weekend nights, like Friday, Saturday. So it was fun to do that, but I would end up with money at the end of the night. I would stay sober, and yeah, it was just like a win-win. So that was my original reason for doing it, is that it gave me something to do, to replace going out to bars. But now DoorDash it's, you know, and that, so the Uber driving turned into Uber Eats, which turned into DoorDash, and I still do Uber Eats too. I just prefer DoorDash. It just, I go back and forth sometimes, and some of it depends on the area, but DoorDash now, it's like a way to be able to travel. And it's fun to see different areas, and they have like different promotions and stuff. Yeah, and there's sometimes you can find an area, like this summer, the area that I was in Washington, it was amazing. Like, people really tipped well. And so I was like, yes, I'm coming back here. And then I ended up getting a serving job at a restaurant that I would like go do pickups at. And I had done 3 pickups, and they were like, by the way, we're hiring. And that's how that unfolded. So DoorDash can like lead to opportunities too. So like I literally walked into that serving job. And yeah. So it's fun. It's like an adventure. I feel like it's almost like a video game where you're like dash now, and it turns it on. And it's like ding ding, go here, and it's like, I don't know. It's fun. It is a lot of time driving. So, but I don't mind it. Yeah. I'm not drinking my coffee. I'm drinking water. I'm feeling a little dehydrated. I didn't see the goal. I saw, yeah, plan for retirement. Robin, oh, well, thank you. I have a welcoming, caring community because of the tone I set. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you guys are welcoming and caring. Yeah, so it's like, it's mutual. Yeah. If I was to go live, I'm thinking maybe doing a live like Christmas afternoon. Hey, Sue from Cleveland, first time on your live. Well, welcome. One thing is that I've noticed, cancel. Ooh, I missed it. Sue from, oh, I missed, I don't know if there's a way to like scroll back over the comments. Oh, oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is new. I've never done this before. Sue from Cleveland, first time on your live. One thing that I've noticed, YouTube somehow cancels out our subscribe status, so always check to make sure I'm still subscribed. Oh, thank you. That's cool. I appreciate that. Very lovely to spend time with you. Nice. You as well. So the low DoorDash offers, Douglas? Well, so people have different theories. Some people like only pick like so I don't work for, I'm an independent contractor. So with DoorDash, I contract with DoorDash, and so they put out offers and I can accept them or not. But what they do is keep track of how many orders I accept or don't accept, and so that shows up. And then also customers rate me, and so that I like to keep my numbers high. That's just my acceptance rate. So I think right now it's high 70s. I like to keep it around that, maybe 80. But there's a lot of back and forth about whether that makes a difference or not. Like your ratings, your acceptance rates. Some people only accept really high paying orders. And I've noticed that as my acceptance rate drops, then it seems like I get less orders. So I don't know. It's an algorithm. And I'm not discouraged by the low paying orders. I just go offline for a while. And I've found that a way like dinner time, it's always going to be busy. So even if there's a low paying order and they keep sending it back and I keep declining it, I'm more likely to not have that happen where I keep getting the same low paying order and I'm getting my acceptance rate is going down, like during dinner time. So if I notice that it's really slow, I'll just go offline because I don't want to keep getting that same bad order over and over again and like have my number go way down. So that's kind of how I do it. Like I try to dash at times that are busy enough to have a selection of offers. That's my strategy. And I will not be spending Christmas with anyone, except you guys. You won't be renewing your overly expensive apartment this spring. Yeah, no, I'm excited for a new tradition. I'm not going to be with, I'm going to be with myself. I might try to DoorDash and see what's out there on Christmas. I might do a Christmas DoorDash video. And I do want to go live. And I have I'm excited to go live. I just don't know what time of the day yet. Oh, I'm like, how do I get the comments? You won't be renewing your overly expensive apartment, so I'm trying to prepare for car life. Yeah, Kia Sportage. Nice. That's like an SUV, right? Any suggestions on setting it up? Yeah. Filing taxes work in the different states. Yeah. That's a good question too. So your Kia Sportage, yay, Flocka. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah. I mean, I've never done a live dash. That could be something I try. It might be hectic. And I think in order to do that, I'd have to have you guys on like an iPad or like, I don't have one phone. I don't really have a lot of like electronics. So I don't know if I don't know. So your Kia Sportage, Sue Paradise, I would start with figuring out how you're going to sleep if you're really considering living in your car, because you need to be well rested. That would be my first thing, figuring out how and where you want to sleep and what you need to sleep. Some people can sleep comfortably in like one of the seats folded back. I've heard people that are fine with that, or taking out a passenger seat and putting in like, I would just look into that and do some research about how you're going to sleep. So I had the van and that was fine. I had a bed and it was wide enough, and I slept a little bit diagonally because it was exactly my height, like the length of the bed. And I found that I needed to be a little bit diagonal on the bed, but sleeping was fine. You also want to make sure that your mattress is thick enough. I'm actually going to add a little bit of padding, I think, to the back part of my mattress. My head touches the ceiling, so I don't want to make this end of the bed any higher, but the ceiling goes up a little bit in the back there. And usually where I'm sitting up straight is at this kitchen area and like for the lives. So I don't want to reduce this height any, but back here is where I lean back. This is more of like my living room area and my desk. So, I'll use this as a desk, or I'll lean back and watch TV. I have a little more room to play with. And also this is where I put my head and my hips. And so, this is where I need the extra cushion under the bed, not so much where my feet are. But yeah, I would, like getting your, figuring out where you're going to sleep and, getting that piece set up is the first thing I would start with. For taking out your seats, I just took out the row. I just knew I wanted to do that. Taking out the seats on the Toyota Corolla was big for me, and I knew I wanted to do that with this too. Oh, I forgot. I can look at the comments because I forgot one. Oh, and the taxes. So hopefully that helps with your Kia Sportage. And yes, that'll be new this year with the filing the taxes in different states. My daughter and grandkids won't come, but my nieces and nephew and a few kids. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it's what we make it. I mean, well, I have my own. Christmas has a lot of meaning for me, and so spending time in reverence is how I want to spend it. But I also want to spend it with you guys because you're part of my family, And there are a lot of people I would love to be with, but yeah, so it'd be fun to go dash or do something with you guys. Yeah, and um, I'm enjoying the live, but I'm running out of things to talk about. It's embarrassing to admit. But if you guys have any more questions, so my products, like I'm gonna have a few things coming up in the next week. Yes, Washington does have a state income. No, they don't. Well, what do you mean? Like, do they when you purchase stuff, you pay a tax, but you don't pay state taxes. Is that what you mean? Like when you file your taxes, you don't pay state tax, but when you buy something, you pay tax. I don't know what the difference is with that, but I can't believe my lens popped out and it stayed in. It seems like it's like on its way out again, but yeah. So, but I probably will end the live. It's getting a little warm in here and it looks so beautiful and sunny out. And here, I can turn the camera around real quick. Oops. Look at that's nice. Do I have an internet connection? You pay your bills on websites. I'm wondering. I just use my phone for everything. So yeah, I really use my phone for everything. I do have an iPad, but it's like an older one, and I got it used and refurbished, and I think it's fine. I just haven't spent a long time like figuring it out. Yeah, I got it for watching Netflix, honestly, as like my TV, but I don't actually watch a lot of TV. Yeah, I'd love to see you too, Marianne, on Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a little hot, like bleh, like sticky. Need to get some airflow going in the car and go to a park. Maybe I could like find some water and open up the back door or something. So yeah, but it's been nice. I really was just gonna go on for a little bit. I feel like we got into a lot of kind of big topics and why I'm living in my car and my hopes and my dreams and all of that. So thanks for sticking around and listening to my story a little bit. And this also, I appreciate this community that I feel like I'm able to be a little bit vulnerable. Some of the stuff is like not stuff that I like to share. Oh, thank you, Sue. Yeah, you're welcome. And you know, that's a sign that I feel comfortable with you guys, and I'm growing in that sense of trust in the community that we're building here. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Marian. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. And yes, thank you for sharing your Saturday as well. And I will be live again. Yes, getting to know each other. It's nice. It's sweet. I'll be going live again. I'm thinking on Christmas. I'm not sure what time. I might post about it. I might just do kind of something impromptu. And I'm having fun doing a little more content while I'm kind of traveling a bunch right now. So, yeah. So thank you. Hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day. I'm gonna take these off because they have a glare. I realize it's hard to see my eyes, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for joining the live, and I will see you guys soon. Okay, be well. Bye.